Hello everybody, this is House Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut. In the previous episode, we hit up OTK International in order to sabotage some of their equipment so that we can gain an advantage against Knight Errant in the upcoming mission. In between episodes, I went ahead and spent some of my karma putting it into quickness, because honestly, I don't think there's really much else that we really need, per se. We don't really need anything in strength, we don't really need anything in intelligence, we don't really need anything in willpower, and I'm confident that we pretty much have everything we need from charisma. Not gonna run into anybody that has more than 8 charisma requirement, and I'm confident in the etiquettes that we have to get us through the rest of the game. Alright, let's talk with Blitz, see if he has anything to say now. Let's see, any thoughts on the last run? Okay. Hey Dante, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Let's see. Check the mission computer, see if there's anything new there. Nothing. Shadowlands? Nothing. I guess we won't see anything until after the Bloodline mission. So let's just talk to Paul and get this over with. Talya, job well done, as usual. And the plan has worked swimmingly, I might add. I'm already patched into the Knight Errant comm system. If and when they summon their high-threat response team, I will know it. As soon as you've finished resupplying, I recommend heading directly to Javol District. Javol District? A commercial district shared by a variety of competing corporate interests. As Technology controls the largest share of the district, including the major utilities that serve it. You'll find the facility that you'll be raiding there. Considering the level of security that As Technology is running, I wouldn't count on medical evac being available on this run. In fact, I'd bet against it. That means if anyone falls unconscious in there, they'll be buried when the building collapses. Obviously, you can't let that happen. I'd suggest stocking up on medical supplies before leaving the Kreuz Bazaar. Noted. I'll buy out Escabel's supply of medkits and Bumona contracts. One last thing, Talya. Frau Muller sent me a message while you were on the OTK run. She says that when you reach the sub-basement of the facility, you will find a security door. This door's maglocks can be opened via a voice print recognition system. Apparently, Frau Muller surreptitiously recorded your meeting. She claims that she has added your voice print to the As Technology database. Alright, go on. If our client is to be believed, you will have the necessary access to open the door. The rest of your team, however, will not. When you reach that door, I'd recommend grouping up. Only you can open it, and there's no saying what you'll find on the other side. Frau Muller didn't tell you? Unfortunately, no. Since your meeting, her messages have been erratic. In truth, I'm not sure that she knows. She was very clear about one thing. You're going to have to get past that door to reach the generators. Go now, Talya. We need to strike while the iron is hot. On it. That reminds me, what all do I have? I think I might replace one of these advanced medkits with an extra gold. Just to be on the safe side. So, in that case, let's get going. I will say this. For this mission, you're going to want to bring at least one good decker. And if you want the minimum amount of combat, you'll need an etiquette of security, charisma 6, and you either need a body of 6, or you need to be an adept with either magic resistance or pain resistance. You can also get by with an etiquette, security, or charisma for it if you bring Blitz with you, but you are still going to need either that body or being an adept with those skills. for later on. Medical supplies. We'll take that gold. And that's about all I've got. I think I'll grab some extra advanced med kits. Just to be on the safe side and an extra gold. Maybe toss some onto my team. Let's see. Toss this in the stash. Actually, now I think about it, I probably didn't need to buy it from him. And grab an extra gold. But it never hurts to be careful. Okay then, now that we've stocked up on supplies, there's not going to be anything new in terms of weaponry. That doesn't happen until a little later. Let's head for the nearest U-Bahn station and then get moving. By the way, what Paul Amsel said, that's not just him, that's not just flavor text. He is right in saying that if anybody gets knocked unconscious, they will be killed. They will be permanently taken out of the game, so be careful. Assemble a team and travel to Az Technology's Berlin compound to sabotage their Bloodline research project. You could also just take a bunch of these guys and not care about them, but I'm not that kind of person. Okay, first and foremost, we're taking Blitz with us. That's a given. Gloria's also coming because healing and, well, her razor-sharp claws. As for the last one, I know that we're going to end up with some combat, so it might not be a bad idea to bring Iger. At the same time, we could also bring Dietrich for his buffs. It's a tough call. I think I'm gonna go with Iger. Plus, it gives us a chance to try out her new Steyr AUG. Az Technology, a giant in the worlds of technological and magical research, one of the most powerful and feared corporations on the planet. There are very few places in this world that the tendrils of Az Technology cannot reach. Germany is no exception. The black glass edifice of an Azzy pyramid dominates the courtyard of the Zitadel Spandau, and countless other more innocuous facilities can be found all over Berlin. The lab that they maintain in the Joule district is one of these, according to your client. The project that the Azzies are working on here is dangerous. So dangerous that she's paying you to bring the entire building down. Oh boy. Let's see. Can I toss anything on for Blitz? Yeah, I think I can. You know, let's toss them all some gold trauma kits. Unfortunately, I can't give Glory anything. Well, maybe. I'd probably replace it with a gold trauma kit. As for Iger, I don't have any more extra gold trauma kits, so I'm going to have to give her a basic. That's all I got. I don't expect to have to use these, but better safe than sorry. The Joule district is everything that your client made it out to be. Corporate complexes of all description crowd into one another, competing for the district's limited space. Lights burn in all of the windows, but the streets stand empty. No shoppers, no pedestrians, nothing but silence. Quiet out here. A friend of mine did a job here once, told me that the local wage slaves are all issued efficiency apartments deep inside the compound. Apparently, the buildings are all linked up on an underground tram system, bed to cubicle in less than 5 minutes. Most days, the poor bastards don't even get to see the sunshine. That ain't living. It's a slow death, he shakes his head. I just don't get wage slaves, man. I really, really don't. And well, not everybody can run the shadows. And what's this? Let's see. Searching the dead drop, you find a package with the telltale markings of the Schocken Wellenreiter. Az Technology, this is an open request for research data from Az Technology's Joule District branch. The Azzies conduct their research in secrecy. They use their money to power and obscure the truth. We will uncover their secrets, we will share them with the world, we will level the playing field between Az technology and its competition. The timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Freedom, equality, information, Schocken Wellenreiter. Yeah. Anyways, you could try to go through the front door, but that's a terrible idea. Also, one other thing. Your comlink buzzes. There is a series of clicks as the connection is established. A moment later, Paul Amsel begins to speak. Just before I go on with that, if at any point you enter combat, the KE threat response team will be deployed, and you'll be racing against the 20-turn counter. If they show up, you're in for a world of pain. So try to, if you can avoid it, getting into combat until the very last possible moment. Alright, Talya, that's the Az Technology Complex just in front of you. You'll note the heavy security posted at the front door. Those are Az Technology employees. They're dangerous to be sure, but you could probably take them out without too much difficulty. Unfortunately, the Azis have also contracted Knight Errant to protect this facility. They're the ones that we need to worry about. Just to reiterate, you'll want to keep a low profile on this run. Get in and out as quickly and quietly as possible. Knight Errant keeps a high threat response team on site, and you don't want to tangle with them. Trust me on that. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Minor interruption. Let's see. If you do need to go out, give it everything you've got. You're going to be reducing the building to a smoldering crater anyways. But I'd highly recommend stealth over a frontal assault. We won't start shooting until we run out of words. Good woman. I begin by trying to find an alternative path into the building. Something out of sight. Once the facility calls for help, you're going to be on a tight timetable. Yeah, I figured as much. Well, thankfully there are other ways into the facility. Or specifically, there is one other way into the facility. It involves going around back. Now, we need to deal with this LTG worker. There are multiple ways to go about it, but we want to get rid of her peacefully, because that grants us a bonus karma. Just one. For now. The LTG tech's coveralls are smeared with sweat and grime. A scowl is plastered across her face. She takes a quick glance at you, then turns back to her work. Unless you're here to help me fix this panel, you'd better stay the hell out of my hair. Otherwise, I'll call security and have them drag you out. With a decking of 4, you can take care of this yourself, or if you have Blitz in the party, which you should no matter what, have him take a look at it. Quickly, Blitz shows her the problem. 2 mismatched connections. Hey, yeah, you're right. She looks up at you. The scowl has disappeared from her face, but she doesn't look happy either. Look, I really appreciate the help, but I have to do this myself. I'm already way behind, and corporate's gonna have my ass if I don't get done before lunch. With a strength of 6, you can intimidate her into leaving. But I'd rather go about this peacefully. Plus, I don't have the strength to do it. You know, if you're that far behind, you could always go catch up on your other work. Leave me to work on the panel. It'd be no trouble. A confused scowl crosses her face. I don't even know you, buddy. Why in God's name would I leave you alone with the panel that I'm responsible for? With 300 new yen, you can bribe her into going away, but with Charisma 6, you can lower the bribe. When did Az Technology ever do anything for you, aside from working you half to death? Let me take care of the panel, and you can clock out early. I'll even spread a little spending money your way. You make a compelling argument. This job has been a load of dreck since they canned my assistant. Screw it. Panel's all yours. I'm off to find a pub. And there's the telltale sign of karma gained. But there's more we can do. If we head down this way... Any day now. Here we are. A human and a dwarf, both in their early 20s, stand huddled in the courtyard. They don't seem to notice your approach. She's been gone a long time, Mira. I'm getting worried, aren't you? She's my girlfriend, Heinrich. Of course I'm worried. But she can handle herself. On the streets, yeah, but against the Azzies? I just don't know. She'll be okay. Brave words, but her tone tells a different story. It's plain as day that she's worried sick. Oh man, I don't know what to do, Mira. And I still say that messing with the Azzies was a bad idea. What else were we supposed to do? The compound of theirs is lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. They've got more power than they know what to do with. We need that juice, Heimer. Our solar collectors are garbage. If we can't keep the lights on after a few days of cloud cover, how do you think we're going to survive the winter? I know, Mira, I know, but couldn't we have just bought some secondhand panels? It can't be that expensive. We could have, sure, before Danny spent our last handful of Nuyen on those forged key cards. She straightens up, puts on a brave face. She'll be fine. She'll be back any second. Just you wait. Somehow I doubt that. She looks up at you, her expression guarded. Yeah, what do you want? Couldn't help overhearing you two. Going up against the Az technology, huh? We're not going up against anything. She gestures broadly at her own body. Do we look like Shadowrunners to you? We're just, improvising. Trying to stay in business. He gives Mira a significant glance. The only way we can. You kids are gonna get yourselves killed. Look, lady, we're just trying to keep our business running. She nods. That place is everything to us. We live there. We work there. It's all we've got. If we can't keep the shop open, all of that goes away. We're all out on the street, broke in the dead of winter. We're doing this because we don't have a choice. He stares at you for a moment before speaking. Look, you're obviously professional. We work at a soy calf shop. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Mira likes to talk tough. Heimer! But she doesn't know the first thing about dealing with corp security, and Danny knows even less about splicing into power lines. Confidence can only carry you so far. He looks down at Mira and shakes his head. I'm sorry, Mira, but I can't afford to be optimistic, and to be honest, you can't either. Danny needs help, whether you want to admit it or not. The facade cracks and Mira's face crumples. Yeah, I know. So, can you help us? We need that power and we need Danny back. I don't think we're going to get either without your help. Well, if it's bad for the Azzies, it's good for me. I'll help you out. Oh, thank God. And thank you, too. He turns to Mira. Give her the spare key card that Danny bought. She's going to fix this for us. You can see the mistrust in her eyes, but after a moment's hesitation, she begins to fish around in her bag. Finally, she produces a thick plastic key card. She hands it to you. This will get you into the utility tunnel. Danny went down there about half an hour ago. She said she'd be back in 10 minutes. Find her for us, okay? Please bring her back safe. Alright, let's head on in. Take a closer look. Let's see, hatch has been maglocked. Insert the key card. Alright, down we go. Lock appears to be short-circuited. Yep. She was not okay. In an instant, you size up the scene playing out in front of you. A young elf dressed in the same shabby, chic clothes that the cafe kids were. Danny, cornered with no place to run. A pair of Az technology security drones closing in for the kill. The drones are low grade, but they're armed and Danny's hands are empty. She's in trouble and she knows it. The futility of her situation is written all over her face. An instant later, the drone's sensors alert them to your presence. They spin in unison to face you. Intruders detected, weapons detected, lethal force authorized. Danny's eyes widen and she hits the deck. The panic spills out of her in a scream. Look out! Yeah, a couple of drones ain't gonna take me down. Wait, why is he unarmed? Ugh. And that gets us another bit of karma. Danny looks you up and down. When she's finished sizing you up, she puts her hands on her hips and smiles. Thanks for the rescue. It takes a pair to bring a weapon into Azzy territory. Everybody knows that they shoot first if you're packing. I wouldn't have risked it. Yeah, well, now, Heinrich and Mira sent me. They're worried about you. Oh, Heinrich worries about everything. Price of being a dad, I guess. She smiles. Mira's got faith in me, though. Anyway, yeah, I'll admit it. I got in over my head, but only a little bit. The drones wouldn't have shot me. I wasn't armed, but I wasn't looking forward to spending the next week in an Azzy interrogation cell. I've heard stories. The stories are true, she shakes her head. You have no idea how lucky you are. If they'd taken you, you'd have spent the rest of your miserable life wishing you'd been shot. I'll take your word for it. I'm not planning on making a habit of this. She slaps the side of the power conduit with a smile. And I shouldn't need to. Tap's all hooked up and ready. Impressive. Heinrich wasn't convinced that you could pull it off. Yeah, well, it's amazing what you can teach yourself to do when your livelihood depends on it. Blitz leans in to inspect her work. Yeah, that looks like a pretty solid connection. Nice soldering job on those contacts there. I'd say you're good to go. He straightens, casts a glance back at you. You know, Chief, we could use this setup to our advantage. It wouldn't be too hard for me to manufacture a power spike from here. We could overload the Azzy's power grid without disabling the generator's safety overrides. It wouldn't cause any permanent damage, but the confusion might give us an opening to get into the building. He shrugs. Your call, of course. Just thought I should bring it up. Whoa, hold up. If you do that, they'll trace it. Az technology will find the power tap and they'll come down on us. Let's see. We can make it worth your while. No, you can't. There's nothing that you could give us that would make up for what you're talking about doing, so please, just drop it, okay? You're right, nobody needs that kind of heat. I'll find another way in. Thanks. You know, some people say that Shadowrunners are ruthless criminals, guns for hire just out for the money. It's good to see that isn't always the case. I'm gonna bail on out of here. I've been stuck in this tunnel too long already, and like you said, the others are worried. But if there's ever anything we can do for you, come by the shop. You'll be welcome at our place for life. Now, if you did choose to overload it, then you could get an objective to cover their tracks. You can still get it without overloading it, but you need Charisma 5 or Etiquette of Street, and Heinrich will give us this objective anyways. Plus, we don't really need to do it. Because, yeah, another reason to do is in case you were having trouble with the LTG tech, but we didn't. And it also makes the invasion easier by knocking charisma checks down, but we also don't need it. Danny looks up at you with a smile. There she is, our hero. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for bringing her back to us. Yeah, thanks, and thank you for helping to keep the Azzies off our tails. Danny had been captured. It would have been bad. She reaches up, grabs Danny's hand, clutches it tight. Worse than bad, babe. A whole lot worse. She looks down at Mira and smiles, squeezes her hand tight. Anyways, thanks again for the rescue. We all owe you a lot. If there's ever anything that any of us can do for you, just let us know. Nothing? Oh, well, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh well, it doesn't seem like that's where we get some extra karma from. At least I don't think. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. If you are on the Lodge's payroll, they will ask you to deliver a message for them. But we aren't, so we're not going to. Anyways, we can interact with the LTG box to also get the power shut down. But I don't think we're going to have much of an issue. Let's see. Override controls for the loading door lock. No, I guess that was something else. I guess that was the only other way to do it. Ah well, doesn't really matter. Not sure why we couldn't get the objective from Heinrich as we were leaving, because... I don't know, I have the requirements for it. The glittering halls of the Az Technology facility stand in sharp contrast to the Megacorp's unsavory reputation. Everything in here screams money, from the mirror polish on the floors to the obsidian inlays in the walls. The generators and the Bloodline project lie somewhere beneath your feet. Nice work, Talya. There have been no alerts thus far. Hopefully you can continue to avoid detection as you make your way through the building. If an alert does go out, I'll get you an ETA on their reinforcements, but hopefully it won't come to that. I've marked an elevator on your PDA. I'd start making my way there if I were you. It's the most efficient path to reach your objective. Best of luck. The most efficient path, but not the best path. Well, actually it's the only path, but we don't want to go through there. We don't want to mess with this door yet, because that leads into the lobby where, well, there are guards. Instead, we want to jack in. Alright, head on in with Blitz. Let's go one at a time, make sure we don't get spotted early. Yep, there it is. Alright, we got 3 ice to deal with. So let's see if we can't take them down. But if we manage to do it, we get access to security cameras, secure door controls, and elevator controls, which is a major jackpot for us. Alright, let's get this guy with a tar bomb so he can't move towards us. And start blasting this one. Okay, Blitz. Let's go for an erosion on him. Get that extra damage, and let's see if we can't pull off a blaster on both of them. And finish this guy off. Okay, that's that. I'll send the attacker program this way to get the security cameras and the door controls while Blitz goes after the elevator controls. Then I'll just start sending them back. That'll save me some time. Because I don't need to worry about the ESP getting out. Okay then. Yeah, as you can see, this would have been bad to go through. Now then... we need to time our movements to get through this area in order to reach there, the lockers. I'm gonna quick save. Okay, that guy's gonna be going back and forth. Whoa. Shit. Well, that's where this comes in. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try observing her movement and see where it leads me. Come on. You gonna move at some point, or what? Okay, she goes there. Then she goes into there. Might be easier to just try getting past her. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking trying to get past that guy doing circles. Ignore what I've said in the past. Just go for that. Wait until she's in the lobby. See, these lockers are stuffed full of spare knight-errant security uniforms. Have your team dress up in uniforms. Grimly, your team sets about struggling into complicated and ill-fitting uniforms. A few minutes of cursing and a couple of popped rivets later, the job is done. You take a moment to examine your team, then nod in satisfaction. They look like a group of authentic knight-errant security officers. Well, that's handy. I'm all for avoiding a firefight if we can get away with it. He claps you on the shoulder. Good find, Chief. Yeah, sure. Well, anyways, with that, I'm actually going to end it off here for today. That was more of a pain than it probably should have been. But if you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, or to hit the straw poll link to vote for our next Let's Play, which is currently at 8 votes. 3 for Prey 2017, 3 for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, 1 for Dragon Age Origins Awakening, and 1 for Yakuza 0. Honestly, I was expecting to get to the end of this with Bloodstained winning it out, but who knows what could happen now. Still got a bit of a ways to go before we hit the end of this, so there's time. But, anyways, I'm gonna have to end it off there. If you could, please leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.